Hello everyone. So today ang topic natin is about the hypothesis testing. Okay, let's start. A statistical hypothesis is a statement about the numerical value of a population parameter. It is a statement or tentative assertion which aims to explain facts about a certain phenomenon. So, ibig sabihin, hypothesis is just a assumption or tentative statement about the parameter. So, hindi pa tayo sigurado if it is true or not. So, we need to test it. Okay, so that test or procedure is called the hypothesis testing. So, if the hypothesis is found to be true, it is accepted. If it is found to be false, it is rejected. Okay, so there are two kinds of hypotheses, the null and the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis symbolized by H sub O. It is a statistical hypothesis that states that there is no difference between a parameter and specific value, or that there is no difference between two parameters. Okay, so si null hypothesis, yan yung tinetest natin kung kailangan mo siyang i-reject or not. Okay? The alternative hypothesis, ito naman yung kabaliktaran ni null hypothesis. It is symbolized by H sub 1. So, merong ibang reference na ang ginagamit nila is H sub A. Instead of 1, ginagamit nila is A. So, pwede rin naman yun. Okay, kahit alin dun sa dalawa, pwedeng gamitin as alternative hypothesis symbol. Okay, so it is a statistical hypothesis that states that there is a difference between a parameter and a specific value, or states that there is a difference between the two parameters. Okay. A statistical test may either be directional or non-directional. So, directional, pwede natin siyang tawagin as one-tailed test. Then, non-directional, pwede natin siyang tawagin as two-tailed test. We can determine whether a test is directional or non-directional by looking at how the alternative hypothesis is expressed. So, titingnan lang natin dun sa alternative hypothesis para ma-determine natin kung anong test yung gagamitin. Kung one-tailed test or two-tailed test. Okay, so a test is one-tailed or directional if the alternative hypothesis is expressed using the greater than or less than symbol. Okay, so kapag ang given is greater than or less than, automatic one-tailed test yung ginamit or directional test. Okay, then next, a test is two-tailed or non-directional if the alternative hypothesis is expressed using the not equal sign. Okay, so kapag nakita nyo na yung ating alternative hypothesis is not equal sign yung ginamit, automatic, that is two-tailed test or non-directional test. So, ganun lang yung titingnan para ma-identify kung anong test yung ating gagamitin. Okay, so now let's have an example. So, state the null and alternative hypothesis. So, yun lang yung gagawin. State lang natin yung null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so number 1, the average monthly income of Filipino families who belong to low-income bracket is 8,000 pesos. So, yung average daw is 8,000 pesos. Okay, so ito yung tatandaan sa pag-state ng ating null and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis always contain equality. Lagi yung ginagamit na sign kay null hypothesis is equal sign. Kay alternative hypothesis naman, never contain equality. So, hindi gumagamit ng equal sign sa alternative hypothesis. So, ano lang yung ginagamit niya? So, po pwedeng not equal sign, po pwede rin namang greater than, po pwede rin less than. So, yun lang yung mga gagamitin natin to state the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so meaning in this example, yung ating null hypothesis or yung H sub 0, okay, so mean is equal to 8,000 pesos. Okay, so while the alternative hypothesis, H sub 1, okay, so yung mean is not equal to 8,000 pesos. Okay, so ganun lang. So meron na tayong null and alternative hypothesis. In next example, the average weekly allowance of college students is 1,500. So, yung average daw is 1,500. So, yung ating null hypothesis or H sub 0 is equal to 1,500. Again, laging equal si null hypothesis. While the alternative hypothesis naman, so kabaligtaran lang siya ng ating null hypothesis. Okay, so not equal to 1,500. So, yung ginamit dito na symbol is not equal sign. Meaning, that is a two-tailed test. Okay. Then, yung normal curve na nandyan, that is an example of two-tailed test. Okay, so dalawa yung shaded tail niya. Kasi nga, two-tailed test yung ginamit. So, yung shaded part dyan sa ating curve, that is the rejection region. Okay, next example. The average weekly allowance of college students is less than 1,500. Okay, so ano yung sabi ko kanina? Sino yung gumagamit ng less than sign? That is the alternative hypothesis. So, ang gagamitin natin kay alternative hypothesis is less than sign. Okay, so now let's state the null hypothesis or H sub 0. Okay, so yung mean is equal to 1,500. Again, null hypothesis always contain equality. Okay, next is the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so yung gagamitin naman natin the sign is less than. So yun yung sabi dito sa ating given. Okay, so mean is less than 1,500. So, meron na tayong null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so, since ang ginamit dito is less than symbol, okay, so, kapag less than yung ginamit, that is one-tailed test or directional test. So, dun sa ating curve, dito sa curve natin, isang part lang ng tail yung may shade. Kasi one-tailed test na. So, yung shaded part dyan, that is the rejection region. Okay, so kapag less than yung ginamit, that is left-tailed. Left-tailed test. Kapag greater than naman, dito naman sa kabila yung shaded part, that is right-tailed test. Okay? Okay, so next example. The average weekly allowance of college student is greater than 1,500. So, sino ulit yung gumagamit ng greater than? That is the alternative hypothesis. So, greater than yung gagamitin natin sign doon kay alternative hypothesis. Okay, now let's state the null hypothesis. Okay. So, mean is equal to 1,500. Then, yung ating null alternative hypothesis is mean is greater than 1,500. So, yung ginamit na symbol is greater than, meaning that is one-tailed test or directional test. Okay? So, yung ating normal curve, yung shaded part natin dyan, is yung nandito sa right side. Okay? So, example yan ng right-tailed test or ng left-tailed test. Okay?